Hello, back again with another video, and this time from a playing ground. I'm somewhere near to Warsaw, in a very small village. We came here because we have little plot of land here. We plan to build our house. In fact, started, foundation work of it. So we came here today to pick some tomatoes, which are ready to pick. But meanwhile, I had to watch one of my kids in the playing ground. So I thought, while she's playing, yeah, any problem? While she's playing, I should make one video and just talk about what raising children looks like, what sort of things kids experience as they grow in Poland, and how different it is from. Sorry if I get distracted. I have to watch her while doing this. Oh God, be careful. Alrighty. Anyway, so growing up in Ethiopia some 29 years ago, for example, I didn't have any playing ground near to me. The only playing ground we had in the entire town, you could call it a village, but it's more like a town where I grew up, was in the kindergarten which was run by a Catholic school. Like the normal ones don't actually have any. I was born and raised in a very small town, so that's okay. But even in big cities, even in the likes of Addis Ababa, playing grounds, parks for kids are a completely new thing, and they are just now becoming more popular under this current administration, which is highly appreciated, I believe. But here in Poland, you come, and you know the fact that there is fertility issues in the West, including Poland. Poland is one of those countries with the lowest population growth rates. In fact, the rate is in some years negative. At the same time, you see playing grounds literally in every block, and that has something I think to do with the socialist past of this country. Most people in this country live in apartment blocks, and every little square of apartment blocks has a green area in the middle of it, and that's where you would also find playing grounds for children, not only for very small young children, but in some places you see for young adults as well. Places where they can practice scooter riding, bicycle riding, some outdoor working out spaces, sometimes in the middle of forest, so you can also practice climbing and walking between trees and things like that. So it's a completely different experience. The exact place where I live, we live in the middle of such residential area with so many apartment blocks, literally within 0.5 kilometer by 0.5 kilometer area. I think I can count easily up to 10 playing grounds. 10 playing grounds of different types, some very small, some larger, some with trampolines where you can jump and do stuff like that, others with all sort of things. It's crazy, and it's because people in the West do not really have the sort of neighborhoods and neighborhood contacts that we have in Africa. People sometimes don't even know who the neighborhoods are. They don't have close relations with their neighbors. But such places, playing grounds, bring kids and also their parents closer to each other. So it's a wonderful addition, I believe. Oh, do you see that adult man practicing? Yeah, those are also very common. So there are places where you can just walk out and stretch your legs, your hands, and you can easily see a 90-year-old, maybe not 90, but 70, 65, 80-year-old man and woman stretching their body. Such things are probably impossible to find in Africa. place where I grew up. I traveled to some places, for example, south of Europe, but you don't see playing grounds in such a number. They are rare, and I think the difference is that Poland and Eastern Europe and maybe some Central European countries had socialist past, which encouraged community life, sharing resources, having public infrastructure, the likes of playing ground, public schools, public health infrastructure, public libraries. There is public library in every corner, in pretty much really, which is wonderful. This is one of the things that makes Poland, I think, a wonderful place to raise children. So that's regarding playing ground. So I didn't grow up playing in the playing ground, but my childhood was probably a little more adventurous because I spent my childhood going wherever I wanted. I wasn't under supervision of parents or any guardian. I was just left alone with other kids. We were free to discover, do whatever we want, go to any other neighborhood, play in the streets, sometimes in dangerous streets where cars, we don't have so many cars like here, but would sometimes pass. Sometimes it would be dangerous. Sometimes, yeah, you wouldn't recommend that, but it really allowed us to discover and learn life on our own. Oh yeah, somebody's complaining. So there's a give and take. Here, you can't imagine leaving your young child alone. I can see, of course, kids of age, maybe 8, 9, being allowed to go on their bicycles, scooters without parents watching them. But even in that case, you would expect some level of control. They're not free to just wander the whole day. I wouldn't say that's a bad thing, but it's just different. I'm sorry. You're trying to climb this? This one is a little too young for things that she wants to do. But she doesn't care. Wants to do climbing ropes, climbing ladders, things like that. And she's amazing, actually. Anyway, what was I saying? So that's the difference when it comes to playing grounds. The other difference is sort of items, toys, books, things like that they get to play with. Games, gaming boards, puzzles, which I didn't have at all. Such things are easily accessible. They're not super expensive, but they can really take a lot of money because you don't buy 1 and 2. You buy in such large number. You need to also constantly supply your kids. I think it helps with their growth, mental growth. Also helps with entertaining them. Już? Koniec, idziemy do domu. Somebody says it's enough, but let's keep talking. You want to join this video? Aye. Oh, bro. So yeah, I'm outside, so I cannot show you what I'm talking about. But children usually have separate rooms, and their rooms, every one of them, look like a piece of kindergarten on their own. So many toys, so many learning materials, books. Yeah, so that's another big difference. I wouldn't say having so many of them is a completely good thing because it financially can be a burden, as well as it can be overwhelming for the children. But at the same time, not having it all can harm their growth. So I think people should be careful and also try to limit. It's hard to limit because everybody who visits the kids, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends of friends, everybody who comes over for birthdays, for just a simple visit, will bring something like that. It's just in the culture. So and on top of that, it's hard for parents to say no to buying things like toys because in every corner there are shops which only sell items for children. Yeah, and it's sort of also entertainment for the kids to go to such places. So it's it can be addictive. But yeah, they're good and bad. In my childhood, I had absolutely nothing. I would play with mud, sand if I could find. We would make our own little footballs and kick them around. Otherwise we'd just play seek and find, police and thief, things like that. Or just fight other groups of children from other neighborhoods. Yeah. The third item is how much time kids get to experience and spend with their parents. My childhood, I had working parents. My father passed away quite early, but my mom was always busy, so I didn't have time to really I didn't have a chance to experience so much time with my mom. But these children, they're always with us 24/7. We are their teachers, we're their everything, we provide everything. In Poland you cannot easily hire domestic help. Such things are extremely expensive. So not many people really can afford it. You have to be extremely rich. It's also it's not in their culture hiring somebody and expecting that person to do your tasks. Raising children is your task. You can get help from your parents, grandparents of the children, but if they're also working and busy people, not much really. Maybe in the weekends you can get help. So that makes raising children hard, and I think that's one of the reasons why people do not make children in these countries in the West, because it's not only a financial burden, it's also physical, mental burden. It demands time, demands energy. If you have children, one of you may have to sit at home, or you may have to send your kid to nursery school so early. That can also be bad to the children because they will be spending time away from parents. Other ways, one of you have to stay at home and fully commit to the children. That, of course, brings financial burden to you, the household. Yeah. So 3 different items where my childhood completely differs from my baby's childhood. Yeah. So how do you compare your childhood to your children's childhood, wherever you are? Let me know. This should be done for now because somebody is very moody. Bye-bye.